It's inauguration day for Poland's new president, the political novice who has shown his admiration for Donald Trump and his disdain for the EU, is set to take office. With a pro-EU government and Prime Minister in place, confrontations are expected. In Poland, a president can initiate as well as veto legislation, and they have some say over the country's foreign and defence policies. Well, let's cross live now to speak to Adrien Sarlat. Adrien, first of all, maybe start by reminding us a bit more about who this new president is, where he comes from and what he stands for.
Well, as you said, he is a political novice in Poland here, so he was not known from the Polish people before the elections. He is originally a historian, so he was mainly known for being at the head of the Polish Institute of Memory, so he has absolutely nothing to do with politics. But by putting to the front of the stage such an unknown figure, the Conservative Party, the PiS, actually just repeated the winning strategy of 2015. Back then it was the figure of Andrzej Duda that was presented to Poles. They did not know him, but this strategy was so successful that Andrzej Duda is today completing his 10th year at the head of Poland. Unlike his predecessor, Nawrocki has had a hard time during the campaign to keep a straight face, as numerous scandals aroused around him. For example, we learned that he took part in some hooligan brawls, that he took advantage of a vulnerable person to acquire an apartment. But all these little scandals did not really affect his victory, as people saw him as a strong personality, as a strong leader, and first and foremost as a person from the people, a leader from the people. As for his political orientation, it is still a bit unclear, as he has still not been in power, but it is already stated that he's more oriented to the right than his predecessor Andrzej Duda.
And one thing, Adrien, that has become clear is his disdain for the current government. He's described it as the worst in the country's history.
Well, yes, that's what he said, but we could expect these kinds of frictions between the president and the government, because even if the president is not responsible for policy making in Poland, he has a tool which can block the action of the government, and this is called the presidential veto. And we already know that Karol Nawrocki aims to use it to block the liberalization of the country that was promised by the Prime Minister Donald Tusk. And we already know that some of his promises will not pass as long as Nawrocki will be in power. I'm thinking about, of course, the liberalization of abortion, the legalization of same-sex civil unions, or the reform of the judicial system. This will not pass as long as Nawrocki is in power, and that might result for Tusk in a loss of credibility, because most of his promises won't be fulfilled before the end of his mandate, and this might end up by his defeat in the next elections in 2027. And this would pave the way, of course, for the nationalist right and the far right to access to power together and to govern Poland hand in hand.
Adrien Sarlat in Warsaw, thank you indeed for that.